Coming up on the next episode. Good Saturday evening to you all, YouTube. It is 8:04 now in the PM. I am at the bench once more. Yes, I am. I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. I got a couple of radios in today. A couple more radios, I should say, I guess. These I bought, again, I'll go over the story just one more time. I bought these one night when I was just basically looking through for bargains and items that didn't work. So that's pretty part of my key phrase for searches were, not working or for parts, that kind of thing. So this was one of them. This is a Ward's Airline, and I'll show you the front of it. Not a bad looking radio. Nice cabinet. The cabinet's down there. It's a wood cabinet. And it's a plastic radio. I'm sure this is one of those radios that could be outfitted with a plastic cabinet or wood, depending on, what kind of model I was going for. And so it is really got some hard tuning to it, so that's going to have to be addressed. I'm pretty sure I know the thing is the tuning cap needs oiling, because I can try to turn it here and it won't turn. So that will be a case for a zoom spout oil, I'm sure, because I can't get under there with a regular oiler. And so that would be that. Now, I'm not going to go very far with this right tonight. I just wanted to take it apart. First thing I noticed, I plugged it in first. You know me, I like to plug in things and see. The guy that sold it said it just buzzes is all it does. And sure enough, I plugged it in and it buzzed. So I took the back off of it, just to see what I could see. Of course, the first thing I saw was this. There's nothing there. So I thought, okay, well, that's part of the problem. It's probably not the buzzing, but that's, why there's nothing coming out, because that's the 50C5, the audio output. The other thing I noticed was on this end, on the tuner, FM tuner, that is a missing tube also. That is the 12DT8 missing. So obviously there's no FM. Other than that, probably this would work with a 50C5. It might have garbled output because of the bad filter, but probably would work. And so, like I said, it's just I don't know if he bought it at an estate sale or something. Somebody had taken the tubes out. I really don't know. It doesn't look like it had been molested as far as back coming off several times. I had a heck of a time getting this thing apart. I didn't realize until the last possible minute, that this little front piece comes off the wood cabinet and allows the whole thing to slide out the front. So, live and learn. I got it out. And it's much easier to work on this way, obviously. And so have a standoff here to repair over on this side. Right there, that's got to be repaired back to its original shape. It's probably not a big thing. It's got several other places that hold it together, but I like to get things back together like they are. I've got epoxy, and that should work rather well, trying to get that back. Like I say, it goes basically just like that. As you can see, that's how it goes. And so shouldn't be a problem getting that glued back on. And we'll get that done at some point during the repair. First thing I want to do to this is, these are 280 microfarad at 150. Of course, you can't find 150s anymore, but 160s are more appropriate now with the voltage we have anyway. So a couple of 82s with 160 I think would be adequate for that. So that's what I'm going to try to find. If not, I may have to go up to 100. We'll see, but like I said, I know they're out there, 82s, but again, they're probably more difficult to find than the normal stuff, because they're not used very often. Only in this older stuff maybe that's used. So anyway, that's that. Let me go on to the next part of this, and I'm going to move it over here a little bit. This, I have to adjust your angle a little bit. You guys are looking cockeyed. Can't have that. This is the GE. Now, I got surprised by this one because I did not expect this radio at all. This is a much better radio than I thought I was getting. I thought I was getting one of those cheap little multi-band transistor radios. You've seen a bunch of them. This is GE. I didn't expect much out of GE, to tell you the truth. This is actually a nice radio, really nice radio. It's a world monitor, and like I said, the report on this is that it works, but no dial string. No movie. Bill, you see that? It's not moving. And this little indicator here is supposed to move as well. That's not moving. So we have two different things there, two different problems there with that. Not a big deal on that. I can get that fixed, but it does has a low level hum is all it does, and maybe that's the guy's idea of the fact that it's working because it hummed. I don't know. But anyway, that's all it does. And again, it needs some cleanup. It needs a couple antennas. Both of the antennas, obviously, this is wire for one of the antennas as far as how it works. And I don't know, that may be the FM antenna on that side. And this may be the long wire for the shortwave. But yeah, it's got some nice features. It's got a dial light here, but I don't think that works. AFC for the FM. Like I said, it's a nice. It's got the fine tuning on it, where you can tune coarse or fine, and it even has a tone control, which is kind of rare. So nice little set. This happens to be a P-991A. Now, Bob and I both looked online, and we could not find a schematic for it, but there is one for the P990A, and we did download the necessary. I downloaded the dial stringing diagram for it and the schematic, so I have really all I need as far as that's concerned. But I'd like to have a SAMS on it. But I think the SAMS actually came back to a P990C, which again, it may be the same radio because all of these have been, this A is the same as the 91A, or I think. Anyway, it may have some slight differences, but it looks just like it. We'll put it that way. So, but anyway, that's a nice radio, and I was really tickled. I think I paid $8 for this, and the shipping really wasn't that bad either. So, nice deal on these, and so happy about that. And that's about it. I think I'm gonna probably go into the living room and find out. Look at my I have all the usual documentation for all my other radios in there, and I'll look and see. I think I have a 12 DT8. I know I have 50 C5 in some radio or another that I'm working on. So I can borrow that temporarily, and I can order some, but I wanted to try it out just to see after I got this filter cap changed and stuff like that. So get this unstuck. There's a good. You can see underneath there. I think it. You have to have a zoom spout oiler to get into that underneath there. To get to that point right there where the bearing is. To oil it, and so you need to get that done, and once I get that done, then that will be better for everybody concerned. Alright, that's going to do me on the intro to these radios. Like I say, this one, shouldn't be a big problem. Replace this, get those tubes in there, find out if it has any other problems that may come up, and then we'll address those. Now the hardest one is going to be the one right over there. The schematic for that thing is kind of large, and like I say, the way I try to tackle something like that is make sure I got audio working first, as I've told you many times. That way I don't have to, I can work on the radio at my leisure as far as getting it to the audio, and then I can have an instant verification that it is working or isn't working. So you don't have to trudge around with the signal tracer all over the place. So, although the signal tracer does come in handy to troubleshoot the radio section as well, I don't usually, I usually use it for that. But again, it's nice to be able to see where the signal is and things like that. And then once you get it, you don't have to worry about the audio. It's done. So, anywho, that's me. That's just the way I do things. And Also, I kind of wanted to address this fact that I'm making these videos in advance. Some of you may not like that, and I'm sorry. Apologize for it, but I have a reason for that. The reason being is I kind of like to have some free time to do things that I want to do other than make videos. You know, people have to get a life. and I'm one of those people. You know, I need to have a life outside of this. And I've got some commitments that I have to take care of and other stuff. So I kind of thought if I could make a few videos and get them up on YouTube, I think I got up to Wednesday. And I'm not making one every day. I made one for Wednesday or Monday and one for Wednesday so far. And this one may air Friday. I don't know. It just depends on how I do it. I'd like to have a little bit more to go along with this as far as this is concerned. Maybe get the 50C5 and 12 DT8 if I can find them, and do a little power up on that just to see if it does work even with a bad filter. So like I said, we may try that again, so I don't know, we'll see. If not, we'll talk at you later. Well, good Monday evening to you all, YouTube. It is 8:36 now in the PM. I haven't been doing a lot today, but I did get a couple things done. This radio here, I was able to find the 12 DT8. I have three or four, I'm not really sure to tell you the truth, 3 or 4 of the Zenith 7M04 chassis, which is the AM FM radio as well, tube sets. And I have, the reason I have 3 or 4 of them, whatever it was, I was looking for a speaker. Out of all 4 of them, I only found, I think, maybe one good speaker. The rest of them were garbage. Some of them didn't even have a cone in them. So, you know, that's why I've got so many of them. I just kept buying them because they were cheap. And when I was buying them, and I'm thinking, well, you know, I'll just buy another one and get a better speaker. And anyway, all of those had the 12 DT8 in it, so I was able to secure one of them. Now, the 50C5, I have one radio in my possession that I think I know it has one, but I don't know where it's at. You guys may recall the little GE tube set that we made a AM transmitter out of. It was just a simple, very simple 5-tube set. We made AM transmitter out of it, and I got tired of that because it didn't really work that well. I converted it back to a AM radio, and then I set it up somewhere, and I have no idea where it's at. None whatsoever. So it has a 50C5 in it, and that's what I need. Now the rest of the radios that I have that have the same setup have a 50B5. And anybody that knows anything about those two tubes know they're basically electrically the same, but the pinouts are different. So you either have to modify the wiring on the bottom of the circuit or the tube socket, or just get the correct tube. So that's what I've done. I ordered that and another 12 DT8 from Bob Dubush, and I haven't ordered them yet, but I've sent him a message stating, you know, I needed some. He usually responds pretty quickly, and then gives you a quote for the tubes and shipping. So you pay on PayPal, and he ships out. Works out rather well, I think. So that's that. The other thing, I did manage to get this fixed. You may notice a screw in that. That's the end that was bad. Now I took my Dremel with the cutoff wheel, and very carefully, instead of you know, cutting anything, I was just basically scraping all that rust and stuff like off there, and I made a nice shiny spot on the back of that rusty bottom of the spring, and that is in there nice and solid, and it makes good connection. I've already tested it with the batteries, and it puts out the correct voltage. So I'll probably end up taking that Dremel and cutting that off because it's not necessary. Not that it's hurting anything, but you know, just in case it's a tight fit in there, you know, that way I can do that. The only thing I have to do left is solder the wires back on it. That won't be a problem, so that will be getting done here shortly. This I'm going to set aside, obviously, Wait on parts. It seems like I spend half my life waiting on parts. I did get an order in today from Sal's Capacitor Corner. He sent me a selection of capacitors that I ordered. He had one of his kits that was, I think, 10 of each of certain values, common values, and that's the one I ordered. So I have those. I'm going to put those away in my box and get that done. There you go for anybody who wants to know. There it is, Sal's Capacitor Corner. Sal's a good guy to deal with. I try to deal with people like him and Bob Dubush, people that are in the hobby and basically, try their best to provide, a fairly decent product at a reasonable cost, and that's what they do. And I know Bill uses Sal's and Bob, so you guys that don't, you really need to check them out because they're really good as far as their product. And now sometimes they get a little bit behind in their shipping, and I understand that. That's not a problem. I think more so Sal than Bob, but again, not a problem. So gonna get those put away, and that will be our next little job. Also, from China, straight from China. Oh, Sal also gives you a little pin. That's kind of nice. His way of thanking you. So keep that in the electronic shop. By way of China, this arrived. I may have mentioned this, that it should arrive either Monday or Tuesday, and lo and behold, it got here Monday. So this is here. We are going to test on this some. I don't know when exactly. Along with this, you get a BNC connector with 2 alligator clips on it for testing or for connecting to stuff, and you get a power supply. So this thing's all pretty much self-contained as far as that's concerned. I want to test it before I put it into the MFP because I like to know for sure that it works as advertised, and I don't want to go to all the trouble of designing a whole new panel for that and then have this not work. That would be no fun at all. So we're going to test this, and like I say, I don't know what day we'll do it, but we'll do it here one day soon and find out how well it works and if it works as advertised. So stay tuned for that. Alright, well, I think that's about it. I have worked on the transistor radio holder on the 3D printing. I have worked on that today some, and my primary goal was to come up with 2 screws that would work in the design of it. One is a left-hand thread, and one is a right-hand thread, because I want one on each side, and I want like a gear drive in the middle, and when this one turns, it's going to turn this one backwards compared to that one. So I need them turn opposite ways so that they'll move the thing up and down equally. So that's what I've done. Got that done. I did do a test print on that. Works fine, and I'm happy about that. And so once I get some more stuff in Tinkercad done, I'll be able to print out some more stuff for that. So still haven't got the final design in my head yet, but I'm working on it. Sometimes it's a difficult task, but sometimes it's usually an enjoyable one because, like I say, I like getting in there and fooling around on that and then doing a test print and seeing how it turns out. This one turned out great, and I was really happy with it. So, all right, that's that. I don't have any more. I don't have any more radios coming. This is it for a while. I said for a while. I want to always make a caveat on there because you never can tell. Something's liable to come up, and I'm liable to go for it. You never can tell. So Bill has no projects. I have too many projects. There's got to be a happy medium there somewhere. But Bill doesn't like working on these transistor radios, and I do. So anywho, that's that. I really think this one probably will work after. It looks like it's pretty good shape as far as the you know, the chassis and all that stuff. It's not dirty. It's not, you know, corroded or anything like that. I mean, the underside of it looks good. And, you know, again, it's really not that much to it. It's a one capacitor under there, and it's a disc capacitor. And I think you got one or two up top. You got the filter capacitor there. And I do have those ordered also, 282s at 160 volts. So actually I have 10 of them ordered. I got them from China, and they were, I could get the ones from DigiKey for about 2 of them for about the same price I get 10 from China, so I just soon get the ones from China. I don't have to have the caps to test it out though. Once the tubes get here, we can go ahead and test it. I don't know. I don't think the hum was all that bad in it to begin with, so we'll see when the tubes get here. But I wish I could have found that. I tell you what, some things just disappeared. You don't know where they went and what happened to them. I mean, I've searched this place over and down, up and down, and round and through. That's that. Also, the one thing I really wanted to tell you about is the fact that now that I have a spare bedroom, you guys probably know what's coming. Really been thinking about redoing DERB in there. Now, for you guys who are old timers, I mean really old timers since the beginning, will know that's where DERB got its start at, was in that bedroom. And with this bench, this one right here that we're looking at, I built that bench in there and put it all together and put all the pegboard and stuff like that on it, and started it out with this basic unit here with the pegboard and the bench and a shelf up above for the speakers, and that was it. I put my electrical outlets in it and things like that, and there was nothing else. There was none of the Variac, all that stuff. None of that stuff was here. I'll flash up a few pictures of that early stuff for anybody that wants to see it, and you can get a look at how we started this. But that was in that bedroom. And it was shortly after I got going on that and started making videos and started working on stuff that my daughter contacted me and asked me if I would put up one of the grandkids, her daughter. And so I did. And that was the start of a long, well, loss of my bedroom, I guess is what you'd call it. I don't know. But anyway, one of the reasons I want to go back in there is because that room has a window in it. This room has a window too, but it's nowhere near this shop. It's over by the bed. And it has a window which also faces the same way, but at least you can have a view out the front. And because the corner of the apartment next door, the duplex, is back far enough to where you can just look at, crane your neck just a little bit and see out, to the road and other stuff going on out there. It's a nice, a more pleasant view than I have. We'll put it that way, because the only thing I can see when I look out my window is the duplex next door. So anyway, that's that. And I thought, I told Brendan, I said that might be a better place to set up our little experiment anyway, because we do have a little southern view there. We can at least get some signals in, maybe. So, because I seem to get better signals from Louisville than I do from Indianapolis, so that's the thought. I've had all kinds of thoughts on what to do. I thought about just building a whole new bench and going that direction, but I don't really want this in here. I want my bedroom back. It's not that big and inconvenient, but I just don't like having all this stuff in here in my bedroom. I just rather have it in the spare room. If there's a spare room, that'd be the best way to do it. I mean, come on, people. So that's what I'd like to do. But I'm going to take my time and move this kind of one step at a time. I've got this. I put this together in a way that it was easy to move it. In other words, it's all kind of modular. This is the biggest part here, the desk itself and the bench. And I'd have to have my grandsons and son-in-law to probably get this moved out into the other room. Now, Kylie and him moved it the last time in from the kitchen into here, but that was an experience she doesn't want to repeat, I know. So, like I said, this would be the last thing to go. All the other stuff that, would go. Now, the shelves, I don't know what I'm going to do about the shelves. I've got them. They're modular enough, but at the same time, I don't know that I can set them up in there as the same as I did in here, because they're built around the workshop. But we'll see. I think I can make use of most all the stuff in there, and I might even be able to expand just a little bit. And I thought about if the fact that if I couldn't, you know, put a new desk in there, I might put a new top on this, a bigger piece of wood, and maybe expand that way and that way just a little bit. So I thought maybe that might be a good thing to do. And I was thinking about a new MFP, and I think if I do a new MFP, I will make the whole thing out of plastic. There will be no metal to it. So that's just a thought, but that's the way I'm thinking right now. So I just thought I'd give you a little warning, or a little tip that may be coming up. Now you guys that's been around since the last time I moved, you know that I was offline there for a few days as far as doing videos and things, because I didn't have access to my shop and that. So that may be happening again. We'll see. So all right, that's going to do this thing here. I really want to get this radio fired up and see what it sounded like, but I'm going to have to wait. You know, you can't have everything you want in life, so sometimes you just have to wait your turn, and so that's what we're doing. So you guys, in the meantime, have a great evening. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.